the definitive guide to movement techniques and exploits in Cyberpunk 2077. I've made this guide to be useful to both new and experienced players. I'll go over general movement tips, and then move on to tutorials for the different bunny hops and jumps with both the reinforced tendons and fortified ankles, including what I think is an exclusive never-before-seen jump, or at least is an archive. I lost track of who and where I learned all this, so if your technique is mentioned or shown, I'd like to say thank you. You've made this game abundantly more fun for numerous amounts of people. Hope you enjoy this video and learn something new. It is possible to fly straight up into the air. You can go straight to the top of this building. All you have to do is have a melee weapon in your hand. Then you go into your inventory, you go to the weapon, and then you swap it out for another weapon. This could be a pistol. In this case, we will use another katana. You then swap back to the original weapon and exit your inventory. You then pull out an invisible weapon and you can spam the attack button to fly up into the air. When you're like me, sometimes you end up on the roof of really tall buildings, and you need to get down. Getting down would be difficult and tedious. So what you can do is you can simply slide off the roof, and you won't take any fall damage. That clearly shouldn't be how the game works, so this is probably going to get patched. But it is pretty cool, and it is pretty helpful for now. So this is edge boosting. All of the corners and edges in Cyberpunk, when you go from here to here, wow, my arms look funky, you drop a little bit. So what you can do is you can kind of wedge yourself in the edges in order to gain some speed. So what you do is you come up to the sidewalk, or any edge for that matter, and you can kind of push your control stick into the edge and find the sweet spot. And then you kind of lightly toggle back and forth from left to right, doing very small changes in order to move along the edge. I'm not very good at it. I'd rather just do a hop, you know, to get around. But I think it is worth mentioning because I have seen people get some wicked speed doing this, and you don't have to have any sort of cyberware at all in order to get it going. Alright, so we're going to Khop. In order to do this, what you need is you need a Kerenzikov, and any rarity will work. I have an orange one because it's better for combat. And I have a suspicion, although I don't have any data to back this up, I have a suspicion that the slow time by 90%, which is better than the lesser rarities, means that you can maintain your momentum longer. I don't have any data to back that up, that's just my suspicion. You also need double jump. Although you can do this with regular jump, double jump makes this work a lot better. So, if we aim down sights, then we can press circle circle, it initiates a time slowdown, and that's a dodge. Releasing ADS stops it. You can see it just keeps on going. Whole 3 seconds there. Now if I dodge and then release and then press dodge again, what will happen is that it will make the dodge move at the speed of the time slow, but it will be in real time. So you see how I moved a little bit faster coming out there. So again, aim down sight, circle circle, release, circle circle, right? So just practice doing that. The reason why I'm using a pistol is because it's easier to learn with the pistol. So I'll get to that in a second here. So what we're going to do now is that we're going to aim down sight, dodge, do the dash forward, except at the end of it, after we get done with the second dodge, we're going to press X to jump. Aim down sight, circle circle, release, circle circle, X. Now, you've got a bit of momentum when you come out of that, so what you can do is you can simply spam jump when you come out. And you see I maintain my momentum. When you look at the upper left-hand corner, you can see the cooldown, the 1 second, 0 second. Just that way you can see it one more time. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 0 seconds. That's how long you have until you can activate another Khop. So, if we want to continue to jump, and now my cooldown is done, and when I land I can initiate another one and I can continue going. And you can see I'm building momentum as I go. Now, the timing on when to initiate the second one was something that bothered me for a very long time. I had to practice doing Khops for about 10 hours until I could chain them regularly. So, a clue that I would like to give you is that with this pistol, you can see the sight picture is clearly displayed. When I jump up, I'll aim, jump, and you see how the muzzle drops down, and then it comes back up, and the sight picture is displayed clearly again. So one more time. Down, up. Down, up. When the sight picture is clearly displayed again, is when you can initiate another Khop. So, I'll try to make it so that way you can see. Aim. And after you do it enough, you just get used to it. It becomes habit, and then you can move on to something like katanas. If you get to the end of your Khop, and then you hit the double and you dash, instead of jumping, what's going on is that you're either hitting it too early or too late. So just simply work on hopping, getting the right sight picture, and initiating another one. You won't lose too much momentum, and that'll get you practicing the right technique. Now, one thing that you can do is after you feel comfortable with doing that, so I'm doing time jumps there. I'm hitting the ground once, waiting a second, and pressing X. So once, twice, once, twice, once, twice, once, twice, right? Now we're going to Mhop. I haven't heard anybody calling it that on the internet. However, for clarity's sake, I will be calling it Mhop because it's done with the maneuvering system as opposed to Khop, which is done with the Khop. We still have the same reinforced tendons. So if I just jump, circle, circle, we can see that I dodge in midair. Jump, circle, circle, jump, circle, circle. It allows us to get to places that we couldn't before. So if I try to jump off of this roof, jump once, twice, I can't quite make that roof. However, if I try to go ahead, back up here, jump once, twice, dash, I can make the roof. Now we can chain this into a bunny hop by jumping, circle, circle, jump, jump, circle, circle, jump, jump, circle, circle, jump. And then you can keep those going. Jump, circle, circle, jump, circle, circle, jump, circle, circle, jump. I'm a little bit late on my timing there. We can pair this with the Khop. If you notice, the cooldown in the upper left-hand corner makes a limitation where we can't initiate another Khop until that cooldown is done. So what we can do is after we initiate a Khop, then we can initiate an Mhop. So I have a scuff controller, so it has paddles on the back. They're keyed to the left one being X and the right one being circle. So what I do is in order to maintain direction, I get my momentum going. And then I use my paddle in order to keep the momentum going while aiming where I want to go. If you use a scuff controller in order to learn how to do K-hops and M-hops, quick word of advice, you can burn out your paddles. At one point when I was teaching myself how to K-hop, I thought I had busted my jump paddle. So, the other neat thing that we can do with the dodges is that we can do a K-hop in midair. So if we jump up here, what I can do is I can jump once off the roof in a K-hop, aim down sight, initiate another K-hop, or excuse me, I'm going to jump off the roof, aim down sight, and then initiate the K-hop. One more time. Jump off the roof. Now see, I couldn't do it that time because I burned both of my jumps off the break. Alright, now we're gonna move on to the Fortified Ankles. The purple ones are very important for some of these jumps that we're going to do. They allow you to hover while you're ADSing. You can buy these from Fingers, either buy them before you kick his face in, or don't kick his face in. We still have the maneuvering system and the Korenzakov. These two are still going to be important. We can do a hop we can do a K-hop with the Fortified Ankles. Right, so that's just holding X. The only problem with Fortified Ankles is that it tends to kill momentum. So it's difficult to chain that. It's much easier to chain momentum with the reinforced tendons. So the reinforced tendons are better for bunny hopping. Now what we can also do is if you recall, we pressed X once when we were learning how to do the K-hop initially with the reinforced tendons. We can do that same thing, jump once, twice, and we can hover jump. Then what we can also do is once, twice, hover, and then we can ADS to cruise even farther. We go up here. We can jump once, twice, dodge, and then jump a second time. Let's go even farther. We can jump, dodge a second time, cruise. We went over that sign. Now what happens if we try to do a K-hop with this? It's quite a long way. So what I'm doing is that if you notice in the upper left-hand corner, there's a cooldown. So if I jump once, no cooldown. Second time, you see the cooldown. What we can do is we can trick the cooldown into thinking that we've landed by dodging. So if we jump once, Oops. Jump once. Hold it. Dodge. We can do another one. Now, let me show you the mother of all jumps. You can chain that a couple of times. Ready? Dodge. Oop. I should have ADS first. If you initiate the dodge, then you can't ADS hover. And there you go. There's all of the ways that I know of how to move around Night City. One thing I forgot to mention in the Fortified Ankles section is that you can kind of abuse the ADS system if you let go and then keep going. You can kind of hover for a second. Gotta kind of do it like that. I think I've got a lot of fun ways for you guys to mess around. Ooh, a fixer skirt. Cool. Well, what's the mod slot on that? Oh, 2. Oh, it has fall damage though. It's fall damage 5%. Alright, well, you guys have fun. And I hope this was informative for both beginners and experienced players alike.